Awesome. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. As you breathe, you're connecting mind and body. There's a connection between your mind and your body, where the thoughts in your head are going to affect the feelings you feel. And then the feelings, the sensations you feel in your body will register in the mind. Increasingly, your mind and body can work together so that you can make decisions. Stick with them. As the captain of this faithful vessel, as the one who's in charge of you, you can take care of yourself, you can take care of your needs, you can take care of what you want, what you think is best, what you believe to be good and right and fair and true, and that's the right of every adult human being on earth, including you. As always, I'm describing you, I'm not altering you. The alteration will be to imagine you're other than an adult human being who can make their own choices. The truth is you are an adult human being who can make your own choices even when they contradict what others would choose. Even if sometimes you have to back out of a corner and make a different choice. You are a living, breathing, adult human being who, like the rest of us, can make their own choices. Now, we're going to go through a process of intentional relaxation. Imagine a huge wave of relaxation spreading from the very top of your head going down. That's right. Imagine that the muscles of your forehead and the muscles around your eyes and your eyelids are relaxing and softening. And then your body responds to this thought you hold in mind, that the muscles shall relax. Send that relaxation down to the muscles of your mouth and the muscles of your jaw. Already you're deciding to relax because you know you have the wherewithal to relax after having made that decision. And wherever you feel your muscles relax successfully, give yourself credit for relaxing your muscles successfully. Then send that softness down into your neck. And down into your shoulders. Too often we brace for impacts that don't come. So make sure your shoulders understand that here you shall relax. Then send that softness further down from your shoulders through the muscles of your back to your lower back. And from your shoulders through your arms, through your biceps and triceps, into your forearms and your hands and your fingers. That's right. Then send that softness through your hips, through the bigger muscles of your lower body, like the muscles of your upper legs, down to the muscles of your knees and your calves. Then going all the way down into your ankles and into your feet. That's right. From head to toe, your body's relaxed because you decided to, and then you made it happen. Let's recognize your capacity to make a decision and follow through. I admit, you did have my guidance, but that's all I did. I verbalized my guidance. You're the one who's successfully relaxed you as much as you have up to this point. Then imagine you're in a gigantic, plush elevator, and as you hear me count down, the elevator's going to take you deeper than this. 20. And then you're going deeper. 19. Feeling good. 18. Letting go. 17. Deeper and deeper. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Here, the elevator stops, the doors open, and you're in a headspace where it'll be easier here to keep feeling all kinds of good feelings. And the good feelings follow from thoughts that take you there. In your head and heart, you have good ideas that spring not just from a hypnotherapist or a teacher or a parent, but from your own thoughts, your own values, your own ideas, your own vision for a better future. After all, hypnotherapists and teachers and parents are just other adult human beings who are also imperfect and don't know everything. You are permitted to be a living human being who's imperfect and who doesn't know everything and still make your own decisions. You can still make your own choices and follow through. Just like you've seen other adults make their mistakes, you are more than permitted to make mistakes, to forgive yourself, and to keep living life on the long march to growing old one day. Out of 8 billion human beings, there are 8 billion life paths. Not just one. For each human being on earth, there are multitudes of life paths that can lead to happiness and fulfillment and one's personal definition of success. There are many people who one might be happily married to. There are multiple careers in which one might make a substantive contribution for each of the 8 billion individuals on Earth, and it means you have infinite paths to happiness, to fulfillment, and to your personal definition of success. You are presently on a path to happiness and fulfillment and your personal definition of success. The story of any life starts with chapter 1, and you're past that. And then there's chapter 2 and chapter 3, and you're past those. You're still on a path that leads to a happy ending, especially as the adult in your life who's most constant, as the captain of your ship, as the highest authority over you. Your life path has a captain who knows they're the captain. The future you remains perceptive, intelligent, in control, and flexible enough to stay the course, to change course, or even go backwards and reassess if the future you decides that's the best option. My descriptions of you tonight are relevant in 5 years, in 10, in 50. The future you is still on a path with chapters yet to be written, and a happy ending, a successful ending, a fulfilled ending that is to come. In adulthood, you can trust your own judgment. Only in childhood did you have to ask a parent, a teacher, what do you think is the correct answer? What should I do here? Who's in the right? Who needs to apologize to whom? But because you got through childhood and you got through adolescence and you've arrived at adulthood, the adult you can ask now is you. You can ask your own heart and mind, your own values and experiences, what you think the correct answers are, what you think is right, what you think you should do. Even in times of conflict, you can ask yourself who needs to apologize to whom and form an adult's opinion from the answers that surface from your morality. The answers are no longer at the back of a textbook or in the head of a teacher or a parent who's been quizzing you. The answers are now in your head and your heart. At least the answers that pertain to your life, your future, your happiness, and your decision making. Adulthood carries no obligation to be perfect. Adulthood just means when you ask yourself such questions pertaining to truth and morality and the best way forward, the answers come from a psyche that's been on Earth at least a couple of decades. The more time passes, the more this is true. Time moves forward in one direction, and in the future, you'll have more substantive answers. You'll have better informed answers. You'll have answers coming from more experience, more introspection, more reading, more conversation, more thought, more introspection. But even at this point today, when you gaze inwardly and you start asking, well, what do I want? What do I think is right? What do I think is the best way forward? What do I think is beautiful, truthful, or good? The answers surfacing from your psyche come from the psyche of an adult who's at your current age. That doesn't mean your answers are universally correct for everyone. It just means your answers are correct for you. If you asked a very good friend, what color should you paint your nails? Which course should you take? Which book should you read? Which vacation spot should you go to? They can offer their opinions coming from their experiences, their preferences, their dislikes. But when it comes to your decision, any good, honest friend must say, well, what do you think? What do you want? What color do you want to paint your nails? Which vacation spot do you want to go to? Which book do you want to read next? I mean, if they're going to be honest with you, they must recognize the correct answers are in your heart and mind. Tonight I describe you as one who has the correct answers, so that you can ask yourself what your answers might be. There are thousands of potential vacation spots, all of which have tourists. Because when every traveler asks him or herself, where shall I go to next? They're querying their past experiences and their future ambitions, their likes, their dislikes, even their tolerance for heat and sunshine, or cold and snow. And then each person comes up with their correct answers. There are infinite paths to a happy, successful, fulfilled life. Between the thousands of vacation spots, possibly more, the thousands of recipes you could cook for dinner tonight, the hundreds of people you could call up and invite out for lunch or dinner. We're approaching infinite ways to be happy and fulfilled this summer. You'll have many summers, many springs, many falls, many winters. If every day you're asking yourself, what shall I do with all that I have before me? What do I want? What do I assess to be a good use of my time, a good use of my money, a good use of my capabilities? You're on a path to a happy, fulfilled, successful life by your definition, even if your life path is different from the ones that a parent or teacher would want for you, even if your life path might be a winding path, and even if your path isn't as you imagined it would be when you were younger, you are nonetheless on a path to happiness, fulfillment, and success. If at each turn, each day, you're asking, do I like it? Do I want it? And if every day you're asking these kinds of questions, you remain perceptive, intelligent, in control, and flexible. There's some relationships where each day you're asking, do I want to be with this person, or friends with this person, or coworkers with this person? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And those relationships last. At other times, you start to think, well, maybe this was a mistake. Knowing that the future you is flexible and intelligent and perceptive and in control means that you can start a relationship or a friendship or a job with incomplete information. You could take a course at a university or choose a color of nail polish with incomplete information about your future. You can learn a language or an instrument and just take the first few basic lessons with incomplete information about how good you'd be at the instrument or the language, knowing the future you remains perceptive, intelligent, in control, and flexible. Once you became an adult, you are an adult for the rest of your life. My descriptions of you tonight are relevant in 5 years, in 10 years, even in 50 years. On any length of timeline, going into the future, you can trust your judgment to be an adult's judgment. That doesn't make it perfect. It just means any honest friend would have to say, well, what do you think? What do you want? What do you prefer? The answers coming up from your mind are never again those of a child. They're never again those of an adolescent. The answers surfacing from your mind increasingly are those of a capable adult with increasing knowledge about themselves and the world. So keep asking yourself what you want, what you like, what you think is good, what you think is beautiful, what you think is truthful. It's how you'll further a career. You'll further relationships of all kinds. You'll further a life path. You'll further hobbies. It's not with perfect information. It's by knowing that your answers are the best anyone can come up with at this point in time, and if in the future your answers change, you're still intelligent, perceptive, in control, and flexible. Most things in life are not like a roller coaster, where once you strap in, you're there until the end of the ride. Yes, we have roller coasters, we have commercial flights, we have certain contracts where we're in it until the end. But then we also have bike rides and leisurely strolls. We have times when we're at the wheel of our motor vehicle. There are times where we can drop out of a course without penalty. We can tell someone we've been seeing, I care about you, and that's why I think it's best if we see other people. And then you hold your head up and they hold their heads up, and your lives continue as you are each still on paths where you still each pursue happiness, fulfillment, and your personal definitions of success. A false idea that I contradict is that there's only one path to happiness, as though we all 8 billion of us, have to do the same thing, or marry the same person, or look the same way, or have the same taste in anything. We don't. There's at least 8 billion paths to happiness and success, but for each of us, there's actually an infinite combination of relationships, books to read, music to listen to, movies to watch, careers we can choose, places we can travel to, that can make us feel at the end of our lives like we've lived happily, that we are fulfilled, that we've met a personal definition of success. You are on one of those paths already. The path is not on rails. An adult can choose to live in a country other than their birth country. An adult in a liberal democracy chooses their own career, and it's not assigned to them. In most of the West, we choose who we marry, and the marriages are not compelled. And I'm suggesting this is actually the better way. To have the power to decide, to choose, to ask yourself, well, what do I want? What do I think is good? What do I think is right? This is actually the best of all worlds. Your adult life is empowered and liberated because you are there every day to be perceptive and intelligent, to be in control of yourself, and to be flexible. Your adult life is superior to a childhood where your class schedule was on rails until a certain grade, and the food that was fed to you was predetermined until you reached a certain age. Even your clothes were picked for you until you developed your own taste in clothes. Life wasn't better back then, where someone else had to guess for you what you might want to eat or what you might want to wear. Life is better where you're asking yourself what you want to eat, and you tell the waiter and they bring it to you. Life is better when you're looking at what you want to wear and you bring it to the countertop and they bag it up for you. Life is better when your thoughts matter, your opinions matter, your values matter, your sense of aesthetics and truth and morality matter. Now you can live life according to what you believe to be good and right and fair and true, even if others would choose differently. But when you don't judge others for the courses they take or the books they read or the music they listen to, others have no right to judge you for any of this. You can trust your own judgment, not because it's perfect. We are allowing the future you to turn the ship around if they need to. You're going to trust your own judgment because anyone else would make some serious errors making your decisions with no access to your memories, your values, your hopes, your goals, or your dreams. You have the advantage of having access to your entire psyche. You have the advantage of having been you your entire life. It's why in adulthood, the waiter turns to you and asks you what you would like. And they write it down and they bring it to you without second guessing it. At a nail salon, they'll ask you to look at the whole wall of colors and pick one out. When you sign up for an educational program, they have all the courses you can choose from. And I'm suggesting the correct answers are inside of you. Your answers can factor in everything you've ever been through, everything you've ever thought. Your answers factor in your likes and your dislikes. Your answers factor in what you want, what you hope for, what your vision of a better world is. That's how you can trust your judgment. And the future you remains intelligent, perceptive, in control, and flexible. We allow for the possibility that being imperfect, the future you might course correct. The future you might even turn the ship around to make sure you're still on a path that leads to happiness and fulfillment and your personal definition of success. That frees you from any need to make the perfect decision with imperfect information. You are hereby released from any burden to decide without all the information what is best for the future you. I contradict the idea that your life is on rails. An adult can choose their own country of residence. They can choose their career path. They can choose their life partner, as long as the other person chooses them back. Your judgment is good enough for all decisions, small and large. The opinions of others you can account for. The opinions of research sources, artificial intelligence chatbots, you can factor it in, but not a single other intelligence, natural or artificial, even has access to feelings only you have felt, and events where you were the only person present, nor to your sense of what is good and right. And even if you have to guess about the future based on who you are and what you have today, your guess is better than mine. And usually your guess is better than a teacher's. Your guess would be better than government bureaucrats. So despite the imperfections, you can still trust your judgment. Not because it's perfect judgment, but because it's adult judgment. And it's your judgment. And the future you remains intelligent and perceptive, flexible and in control, so the future you can stay the course, change course, or even turn the ship around, if the future you assesses any of those to be the best option. This is how you could land in a strange city, and as long as the neighborhood's safe, you can stroll around without having decided where you're going to eat yet. Instead, you'll use your eyes, your ears, probably your nose, and decide, this looks good, this sounds good, this smells good. It's how you stumbled your way through kindergarten. Not with perfect information, but with your eyes, your ears, and even a 5-year-old's brain and heart. If even an 80-year-old, let's say an 80-year-old in the White House, makes imperfect decisions and can course correct when he decides to, you can absolutely do the same. You can absolutely make imperfect decisions that are nonetheless yours and course correct if you need to. You can absolutely trust your judgment. You can absolutely dare to disturb the universe, and when you do, you're likely to make an impact that's more positive than not. for the rest of your life, you have all these adult qualities and capabilities that I've reflected back to you with the words I've spoken. As always, I describe you as the person you are today, where you're never going to be a child trusting their judgment. You're going to be an adult trusting their judgment. And that's good enough to navigate whatever the 21st century has in store. We don't know all the details of 2030 or 2040 or 2050, but we do know, as long as you're around to care, you're an adult. You have an adult's judgment. You can figure things out based on how things unfold before you. And you're on a path that continues, which means you're still on a path that leads to happiness and fulfillment and your definition of success. So let all of this sink in. This is a world you can navigate. This is a world you can stroll around in. This is a world in which you can decide what to have for dinner. You can decide who you shall dine with. You can decide which color your nails shall be. You can decide. And it's going to be okay, even if others disagree with your decisions. Even if in the future you have to turn the ship around. Even if judgmental people are going to judge. The future you is intelligent and perceptive, capable, flexible, and in control enough that there's no chance you've ruined your life. More and more, you can believe in your own resilience and your own capabilities, especially as you draw upon an adult's judgment to factor in everything you've experienced and everything you've learned and everything you've figured out by this point in time in the decisions you'll make. If all the items on a menu look delicious, then you have that number of paths to a happy, fulfilling, successful meal. If you're looking at a wall of nail polish and you're trying to decide which color, and they all look good to you, then you have that many colors that you can look down upon proudly when the job is done. If there are 3 or 4 suitors for marriage, and they're all good, they're all attractive, they're all people who make you happy, then you have that number of paths to a happy, successful marriage. And thankfully, you don't just have one. I'll have you feel all of this sink in. With all your heart and mind, with every cell in your body. Embrace the truths you've heard and the words you've heard me speak. It's because of truth that your eyes and your ears and your heart and your brain can help you navigate tomorrow. And you don't need me continually describing you to keep being this person I've said you are. Now as I count, bring your attention outward and feel energy return with every count up. 1, become aware of your body and the cushions. Become aware of how you feel, how you're breathing. 2, then notice the music fading. Become aware of how you plan to take this reflection upon you and make some decisions knowing that you're still on a path to happiness and fulfillment and success. And the future you, if you see even a chance that you're straying off that path, well, they'll change course. They could even turn the ship around. But at least you'll have given yourself a chance to further this path to happiness and fulfillment and your own personal definition of success. 3, 4, then feel a huge wave of energy go from the very bottoms of your feet all of the way up to the very top of your head, making you feel refreshed, making you feel energized, making you feel clearer about who you are really today, tonight. Making you feel clearer that you're empowered to look forward intelligently and perceptively, and even with imperfect information, you can sail into that future knowing that the ship has a captain who knows they're the captain. As energy goes all the way up, then 5, let it sink in and open your eyes to return fully back to this room